Cam Sutton remains really the only interesting topic of conversation amongst the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. Everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. Is he staying? Is he leaving? Every day it's a flip-flop. Sometimes it's, oh, okay, he's predicted to stay. Other days it's, maybe he's on his way out. This team's interested in him. That team's interested in him. The most recent one is ESPN, who has predicted that he leaves to, I think it was the Detroit Lions were one of them. I don't remember who else was on the list. Who replaces him is former Las Vegas Raiders cornerback Rock Ya-Sin, Temple grad, former Indianapolis Colt. On paper, I guess, yeah, it's not a bad move for the Steelers. You dig a little deeper, you realize maybe a really bad move for the Steelers. What are your thoughts on Rock Ya-Sin here replacing Cam Sutton?
He would certainly be a cheaper option, but like you get what you pay for. I don't know. You need like this is my thing is that you need to pay for talent. You can't just do everything cheap. Cam Sutton's a good player. He's earned his money, and you need him. Go pay him. Like don't Rock Ya-Sin is a fine player, but if that's your plan for replacing a guy like Cam Sutton, you're in a bad spot. And I think that's just the wrong mindset to be in, to think that you can just find a good value and that's good enough to go not Super Bowls even, but like get you to the playoffs or anything.
Yeah. The breakdown here of the reason why. First off, this is we should give credit where credit is due. Matt Bowen, ESPN staff writer, he named one free agent for every team. So this wasn't a straight Steelers prediction. It was about everybody. But he goes, how strong the market for Rock Ya-Sin ends up being will play a role in the Steelers' ability to move on. But I like the fit, especially if Pittsburgh can't re-sign Sutton. Ya-Sin is well-versed in both man and zone schemes and has a physical approach to the game, so he would upgrade the perimeter of the Steelers' secondary. He had 7 pass breakups this season, allowed just 1 touchdown reception as the nearest defender, according to Next Gen Stats. That's great, but then you look at overall what's going on with Rock Ya-Sin. Over the last 2 seasons, this is Cam Sutton's numbers. This past season, 3 interceptions, 15 pass deflections. Phenomenal year. The past 2 years, it's 5 interceptions, 21 pass deflections. That's his 2 years as a starter. Rock Ya-Sin, in 52 games overall in his entire 5-year career or 4-year career, he has 2 interceptions and 27 pass deflections. So yeah, I get it. Like he hasn't been bad. He's had his upsides. He's had his downsides. He hasn't turned the ball over since year 1 of the NFL. I just don't think it is an upgrade. I think at that point, you just take the loss if you lose Cam Sutton and you say, maybe we see if Ahkello Witherspoon works out again and then we go draft somebody, because Levi Wallace at that moment is your CB1.
Right. Yeah, this is as a contingency plan. I don't hate this, but like,
no,
if you're at the point where you're looking to Rock Ya-Sin to be a starting corner for the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're in a bad spot. And you should probably just draft someone, and you could probably draft someone that is probably cheaper and probably not cheaper actually, but but is better, better. That could start for day one. And Rock Ya-Sin is
cheap. You know what I mean? Like Cam Sutton is cheap in the grand scheme. We were talking last week or Monday maybe about how James Bradbury's $15 million a season.
Right.
Cam Sutton's going to be like 7. Rock Ya-Sin's going to be like 5. Cam Sutton's already the discount. How much more of a discount? At that point, you're just getting another Levi Wallace and another William Jackson and another Ahkello Witherspoon and saying, okay, guys, go figure it out. We don't have a true number 1, but you guys will be fine. Don't worry. Jamar Chase isn't that fast. I just don't think it makes sense for the Steelers to take anything less than Cam Sutton. At that moment, if you lose Cam Sutton, maybe you try to shoot for the stars and go get somebody that might be a little bit of a splash. You're not going to get him for as cheap as you'd get Cam Sutton, but I just don't think if you go further down the list, you're not going to be able to compete with the AFC North, which is, we already saw those struggles this year, and you can't rely on Levi Wallace to be your CB1. I think also just go double dip in the draft. Just go get 2 corners in the draft and say, okay, well, we spent the 17th pick and the 46th pick on cornerbacks. There's no need for us to, go sign somebody that's a player. We still have Akella Witherspoon's still under contract for another season, and so is Levi Wallace.
Right. If you're moving on from Cam Sutton, I'd rather take someone with potential. You kind of know what Rock Ya-Sin is already. Like, I would rather bank on some youth in the future and being able to develop a guy, or get a guy with some obvious talent. Like, I'd go that route instead of signing a guy like this.
Yeah, I just don't think Rock Ya-Sin works in Pittsburgh. I don't think that I don't think you could explore the cornerback free agent market and feel good about anybody that does not match up with Cam Sutton, because there should already be a little bit of concern that Cam Sutton is your best corner. And I think Cam Sutton's a great corner, and I think he's a very valuable piece to any puzzle. But if he went anywhere else, chances are he's not the CB1, Like, he signs in Minnesota, he's not the CB1. He signs in Detroit, he's not the CB1. Like, he's the 2. He's a starter. He's a versatile guy. In Pittsburgh, he's the 1. So you downgrade from that, you're putting yourself in a lot of trouble.